Hi, welcome to this video presentation on why I created my own Bitmex calculator inside of the TUCP software. If you come up to the top left of the Bitmex account, you will see a small icon for a calculator. And because our base currency is in Bitcoin, unless you've really got a good idea of how calculating it out to 8 decimal places, then there are tools that have been provided in order to do this. So I'm just going to left click on this, and you can see we have this calculator here. We've got a profit and loss, a target price, and a liquidation price. The liquidation price we'll come back to in subsequent videos, because we will have to use this to calculate the liquidation price for the calculator, because the calculation for this is based on the individual margins in your trading account, so obviously it's very difficult to access globally. However, let's go back to the first one here, profit and loss. Let's say, for example, I wanted to trade $1,000 worth of Bitcoin. That's 10,000. Let's try 1,000, and the price is currently let's say 9,000, and we're going to go for $1,000 rise in Bitcoin up to 10,000, and we're going to use a 10 leverage on this trade. So what happens is the calculator does all of the grunting for you, works it all out, including the return on equity. And whilst I'm here, let me make this point. The return on equity is not the balance that you have in your Bitcoin wallet or your margin account. It is the equity that is used to open, and the emphasis being on open the trade. So the amount that is used in order to open the trade on the Bitmex platform. But that's another subject, and I will cover that in more detail in another video. Another misconception that you see on a lot of YouTube videos with regards to Bitmex tutorials. So this calculator works it out for you. The problem is the hieroglyphics on the right. It just doesn't mean an awful lot to you, and it certainly didn't to me when I first started trading this. I've gotten used to it because you do. It's like anything else. If you submerge yourself in it, eventually you will come to grips with it. You'll understand it a lot more, and then be able to work it out. But I wanted to save that sort of grief, getting older now. And so what I did was had a look at all of the formulas and calculations, and created a spreadsheet just to, first of all, as a prototype, I suppose, to see how it all came together and whether I could actually implement this into the TUCP trading software. So after a couple of weeks and some help, I managed to do all of this, and I could convert the Bitcoin price back to pounds and dollars, and also in the software now euros as well. Also created a chart just for a bit of fun, just to see how the impact of the margin costs, liquidation costs, and initial stop, and of course the order value as well. So that was the first iteration, and then we got it into the software, which you can see here. And this is a lot easier, of course, because we're in the one place. We just have to make sure that at the top of the calculator, and I'm going to cover this in more detail in the next video, we choose the currency we want. We've got the right amount of Bitcoin from our wallet. I'll show you how to do that in just a moment as well. And then this will convert the dollar equivalent back. And then below this, we've got the risk on trade. It calculates this for you, the potential risk of the liquidation cost as well, so you can see this immediately. Got all of the trade inputs here, and then below this, you've got the trade summary, where the XBT is converted to something that is more familiar. And you can see this here. If we look at just the initial stop and profit there, you can see that $49 potential risk and $11 potential profit is a lot easier than looking at and trying to convert the XBT values there. So it makes life a lot easier. Again, ignore the figures at the moment. I've just thrown some in there just so you can see how this actually fills out. But I'll show you in the next video how to get the figures in there automatically, and then how to use it on any price bar that you want to mark up. If you didn't want to use the PTP signals that are generated automatically, you can actually use this on any price bar as well. So you might use pivot points, moving averages, or whatever it is, but you just want to see what the potential risk reward will be on the trade before you actually place it. The last thing to say, of course, is even though the figures are calculated for you, you've got to keep in mind that there is always a constant fluctuation in prices, whether it's the dollar, the pound, the euro, and Bitcoin. So again, these figures are not definitive by any means, but it's a lot easier to see where you stand and what you stand to make or lose by having this calculator, as opposed to just having the one in the Bitmex calculator here, which is slightly difficult to get your head around initially. So just to make things a lot easier, and that's what the technology is designed for, isn't it, at the end of the day? Okay, that's it for this video. I will see you in subsequent videos about the trade calculator. Any questions, let us know. Other than that, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.